Hey Fruit Faces, it's KlaireeBerry. I wasn't going to do any more videos today because I've been doing a bunch for the past few days, but I just had to. I had to. Something came up and I saw something about Sean Baker again, and I wanted to do a real quick chronometer video. I tried to kind of do some research on how much steak he's actually eating, and I don't know a lot of times exactly. He says he has, sometimes he just has one meal. So your average meal, I think, would be two steaks. But I'm not sure what size those are. I'm not sure how many ounces they are. So I saw somebody else post that he has 3 pounds of meat a day. So giving him the benefit of the doubt, let's say it's not a one meal, let's say it's a bunch of meat. Let's say he's having these 3,000 calories of ribeye steaks a day. So I'm going to plug that into Chronometer and we'll see what we get. And then I'm going to show you guys what only about, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 calories on a raw vegan lifestyle is, or a mostly raw. I don't even know what day. It's the last day that I had actually plugged anything into Chronometer. So you'll be able to see exactly the differences.
Okay, so we can see very clearly here that Sean Baker's only getting 70% of the targets. This is how I have it set up to. Some of the nutritional targets are a little bit lower. So I would say that if you were to plug this in on a regular chronometer, would be even less. So if you feel like trying that, please let me know what happens. You can see that he's not getting enough fiber and vitamin C. Vitamin A is down there in the left-hand corner. These are things that you need for your immune system, your skin, your lungs, your brain. These are not just nutrients that he can shirk off and act like he's going to be healthy. He's lacking in vitamin C. All of these really important nutrients. Vitamin A, folate is very important for stroke and heart disease, as well as skin, hair, nails, and mood. Heart disease is something he really needs to worry about. So for him not to be getting any folate is definitely very, very important. You can see he's not getting hardly any of these vitamins, which is very, very, again, important. I don't know where he gets off acting like he's getting all of the nutrition that he would need from this sort of a thing. He can try to rationalize it in different ways, but he's just pulling shit out of his ass, basically. Again, vitamin D, very important, not just for your mood in the winter, but for your whole, your whole body, your immune system, your heart, everything. Vitamin E, also very important for heart health. Vitamin K, calcium. I mean, hello. Does anybody think that this is going to be okay? Potassium and manganese is like somewhat decent, but still too little. And copper and iron and magnesium are too high. Iron is definitely something when you're eating heme iron, you don't want to have too much of this. Okay. That's not a good thing for your heart either. So too low on omega 3s. And that might be, if you're eating all grass-fed beef, that might be a little extra. But let's talk about an elitist diet, shall we? Who can afford to eat this much meat a day, especially when you're only getting about 75% or less nutrition? So way too much saturated fat, way too much protein. They might feel good about eating this much protein, but you know what? It's not good for you. It's has to deal with nitrates and urea, and it makes your body too acidic. And this is a big problem when you're talking about diverticulitis and acidosis, which is very dangerous. So compare all of that to this nice, mostly raw vegan lifestyle. This is a real day that I did not too long ago. You can see I got 95% of my nutrients. It was more like 98 or 99 when I took my vitamin B12 and my vitamin D. Those are the only two supplements that I pretty much ever take anymore. And you can see this is only 2,300 calories. And so I'm consuming less calories, less fat, but also spending less money on this, which is very important. So you can see actually I'm getting some of my B12 from that nutritional yeast. I've got 362% fiber, 98% iron, 212% calcium. Is that 5,000? How much vitamin A is that? Let's see. Oh yeah, 5,219% vitamin A, which again, the vitamin A in plants is you can't get too much of it. It doesn't even matter. But whereas vitamin A from plants is dangerous. On vitamin C, we all know we want vitamin C to keep us healthy. 727%, 114% vitamin E, 1,107% vitamin K. I've got 212% calcium, 316% copper. My iron is at 98%. Everything else looks really good. The one thing that I'm really low in this day is selenium. And I do counteract that by eating Brazil nuts just about every day or every other day. Slightly low in zinc. It's still at 90%. My omega-3s is at 295%. My omega-6 is at 767%. So I would want to ideally balance that out a little bit, but definitely more omega-3s than a carnivore diet. Everything else looks really, really good. And interestingly enough, I have 96% of my protein. And that's what it says overall on the grams wise, because I got 43.8 grams, which is 96% of the 45.6 grams that I need. But when you look at the actual amino acids on this, I'm getting over on every single one of them. So that shows me that I'm getting perfect nutrition here or close to it. What do you got to say about that, carnivores?
So as you can see, it's way better to get your nutrients from a vegan lifestyle because there's definitely nutrients that you're not getting just by eating meat. And it's more expensive. People say veganism is expensive all the time, but obviously being a carnivore is super expensive and you're not even getting all your nutrients. And, with the vegan lifestyle, I might supplement 1 or 2 supplements, whether I'm doing B12 or vitamin D. Sometimes I don't do B12 because if I'm having nutritional yeast, I get it from that. And, sometimes you might get vitamin D from the sun or whatever. So, not even a whole lot of supplements needed, which is something that carnivores always try to say. But again, if you look at it, in reality, they're the ones who need to supplement their diet and not vegans. So when you talk about the bioavailability, they talk about that all the time. I've done a video specifically on that. Different nutrients are different. When you look at vegetables versus dairy, the calcium bioavailability is actually way higher for plants. And in a lot of other things, again, it doesn't even matter because you can eat so much more on a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. And therefore, you don't have to worry about the bioavailability being a little bit more on a meat lifestyle because you're able to get so many more nutrients from your fruits and vegetables. So not only that, but the nutrients are safer. Like vitamin A, very dangerous to get too much of vitamin A from a meat source, but you cannot overdose on it on any type of vegan source. So just thought that I would share this with you guys. Let me know what you think. Share it around the interwebs so these carnivores can get a dose of reality. Thanks. Don't forget to eat your fruit. Talk to you later.